shifted all that money. South Carolina's governor. Good afternoon. How you doing, friends? This is Ernie from the Trader of Futures, and it is 1 o'clock, September 11th, Tuesday, 2018. Friends, this is Ernie from the Trader of Futures, and it is 1 o'clock, September 11th, Tuesday, 2018. Friends, this is Ernie from the Trader of Futures, and it is another fail. I am really good at that. Apparently, I had more than one window open. They should, I can't imagine how hard it would be for Google to detect whether or not you had another window open when you go to a live stream and automatically shut down the, but no, they don't do that. I understand that it's incumbent upon me to know what the hell I'm doing, to have my shit together, and give you the best possible show possible. But no, I can't. It's because I'm a fuck up. I'd rather blame it on Google, though. All right. As I said, it is Tuesday, September 11th, 9/11. This is 17 years after that fateful day that a bunch of terrorists flew planes into the Twin Towers in New York City. I was there, and it was a very disturbing time. A lot of people are remembering it. Thing I remember that really sticks out in my mind is the joy that some liberals and others, particularly, let's see, got to use the words carefully. Anyways, there were people that were joyous of that occasion, and I'm sure that they're still celebrating today. Sickening. Absolutely sickening. Anywho, let's not dwell. Israel behind 9/11? No, I don't think so. By the way, it is Jewish New Year, which I celebrate. I am a big supporter of Israel, by the way. I don't know how people feel about that, but my wife is Jewish, brought my kids up Jewish. I never really converted. I had nothing to convert from. But I was married by a rabbi and love my family. They're all great people. My wife's father, although he didn't escape out of Nazi Germany, much of his family actually was lost. But anyways, that's another story. It has nothing to do with, we have Jewish New Year. And then next Wednesday, we have Yom Kippur. Yes, I'm a Zionist. But I'm not a Freemason Jew. I'm not a Jew. I'm a Buddhist. Practice Zen Buddhism. I am non-religious. Very non-religious. It's not that you might ask, do I believe in God? And the answer would be that I don't know. Is there a God? No one can prove it. Some people can say they can based on their faith. But I'm kind of that's why I chose Buddhism. It's a a non-theocratic, I hesitate to call it a religion, it's more like a philosophy. And it's really about getting your mind in tune with reality and being able to introspect yourself and how you behave in a moral way. And I know that most religions, that's kind of like their underpinnings, that they're trying to establish some kind of morality. A lot of them are trying to do that through sort of a collectivism, and that's not something that I'm into. I'm not into the whole collectivism part. But is there a God? Is there a God? See, the thing is, you cannot disprove the existence of a God. Neither can you prove the existence of a God. When one looks at the vastness of this universe and the world and everything, it's hard to believe that all of this just came about all by itself. And so, with such great unanswered questions, we like to fill those voids with things that might make sense to us, even if it isn't logical, even if it means believing in an ethereal being, and then making that being somehow in our image. So, yeah, I mean, it brings some sort of comfort and stability to people's way. And they believe that, you know, there has to be some kind of reference there. And I can understand that. But let's say that you believe that there was life elsewhere in the universe. And I think by association, just, you know, looking at our planet, all the necessary things for creating life exist in the universe. Otherwise, we wouldn't exist. So just based on the vastness and the number of other planets and galaxies that are out there, there has to be life elsewhere. If we have a God here, does that same God rule or have dominion over those other planets, those other civilizations? Is it the same God? I don't know. All right, time to go to the comments. Lots of people. Let's see. I got to start up a little higher. We did the Zionist thing. Ha ha ha! Happy New Year! Happy New Year to you. And Dr. Zaya says attachments bring pain and suffering. Ernie, that's true, and that is an underpinning, the foundational belief in Buddhism, that when you become attached to something, when you make anything an obsession, that is the number one source of people's suffering. Now, that doesn't mean you can't like things, that you can't love things, that, you know, etc. It's when you bring it to a point where it consumes everything in you and it doesn't allow you to see things rationally. So yes, attachment does bring suffering. Nick says, lots of people have past life experience, know stuff they couldn't. That, you know, that might be true. And like I said, I cannot discount the existence of a God, but neither can I prove it. So you cannot prove a negative. So there may be some God out there. There may be other beings out there that are sufficiently advanced that in our eyes, they would be indistinguishable from a God. You know, that could be as well. Omnipotent, evolved beings. And when you start looking at quantum mechanics too, that's a really, really strange and fascinating scientific field that implies that we're all connected in some way through this sort of primordial or stew, this that even though there is space, there is still this kind of ether in the space, dark matter, and things are connected through these quantum levels. And that's weird. The reason we have so much division in the country is because of statements like that. I'm not sure what statement we're talking about, Alex. Jose Sanchez, absolutely there is a God. Human religion was created to control people. Hey, besides coaching, can you talk about what other products you offer? Well, right now, I mean, coaching is pretty much it in the patterns and volume profile course. And the course itself is kind of, it is a kind of an introduction to a big picture systematic way of trading. And then using volume profile and high probability patterns as a methodology to identify setups. Now, what I don't talk about in the course is all the different strategies that you could devise and then that make use of this methodology. But that's okay. I mean, those may be future courses. Let's see, we're going to turn this off. It's the phone. So I have the course, and the course comes with a free coaching session. And the idea there is that some people may want to go further with the coaching session, or you can take the coaching alone, and then there are different levels. There's 4 sessions, 12 sessions, 26 sessions. I used to have several other products, other training, including automated trading, setting up your own automated trading service. I used to have the bond trade, which I call the knob trade, and several others, as well as some on-demand courses that no longer exist after my YouTube account was deleted by some nefarious person. And so I'm basically starting fresh again. So starting with the volume profile and patterns course and in the coaching. Of course, I'm doing other things in the background that have nothing to do with trading. If I had to have religion, I'd be a Buddhist, says Yak. Yeah, and again, Buddhism, there is no God in Buddhism. However, in Buddhism, they do not discount the existence of God, but they do not worship a God. The Buddhist himself was not a God. He was nothing more than just a person who had become enlightened. And anybody can become enlightened and, in fact, become a Buddha. In fact, there may be several Buddhas out in the world today. It's the highest level of enlightenment or being awoken. Be a very, very special person. Some say that the Dalai Lama is the recreation of some kind of a Buddha, but that's Tibetan Buddhism, and that's their stuff is like wacko way out there. I'm not really into Tibetan Buddhism because they also believe in reincarnation and crap like that, which wasn't really part of original Buddhism at all. All right, just watch Norman Dude on collectivism. What I would recommend Ayn Rand on objectivism and the contrast between objectivism and collectivism. Luke Wenceslaus Mayanik. Wow, that's quite a name. Are you an Ayn Rand fan? Because I totally am. Oh, I didn't even see your comment, and I mentioned that. Isn't that something? I want you to hold on right here. I'm going to go get something that will show you just how much of an Ayn Rand fan I am. Be right back. Don't go away. I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm coming back. I'm coming. Here I am. I'm back. All right. If you know who Ayn Rand is, her most famous work is Atlas Shrugged, a great novel about basically about countries that slip into collectivism or socialism and the evils of that, and also the foundational spirit of the power of the individual. And Atlas Shrugged is her greatest work. Her second greatest work, I think, is The Fountainhead, which is a fantastic book as well. And this hat right here says Atlas Shrugged, now nonfiction. You see that? This is the most awesomeness hat ever. Who is John Galt? So, Luke, yes, I am also an Ayn Rand fan. Religion is here to manipulate people without whether they know it. I would say that ultimately, religion was put together to try to create some semblance of normalcy in groups and to keep them together. But over time, it did become some way to control people as well. And there are some religions that are way out there, others that are grounded, and others that are, quite frankly, not good. One god by galaxy would be cool. A god per galaxy? So there would be billions of gods. That's an interesting take on it. I like that. One god per galaxy. Joe Citizen, I would like to think that we are not the brightest bulbs in the pack. There must be more advanced civilizations somewhere. The universe is a big place. And you would think that if they are so far advanced, that they would have conquered space and time and they could have visited us. Maybe the universe is so vast that they just haven't discovered us, or maybe they have. And, well, why haven't we seen them? Maybe, because they are so advanced, maybe we cannot perceive them, or they're smart enough to fool the hell out of us. That could be too. It's so vast, says Spook, just because so many conditions have to be met for life to be viable. Is Satoshi God? Hardly. Right. Past lives wouldn't necessarily prove a god too. Plus, the term God is here to pin down. Could God be a simulation? Yeah. Are we all living in a simulation? There's a good question. Is this like the Matrix? Really. Now, if there is a God, I guess you could say that ultimately we are a simulation. We were all created in his image. My God is this planet, nature, and physical laws. I go along with that. It's kind of a Buddhist type of philosophy. Obscure Man says, if there is better life out there, what's the purpose of living this life? I don't understand that. Our purpose is to keep on evolving to some ultimate goal. I don't even know if it's a goal. Just keep on evolving. We're all on different tracks, just like we are on different tracks here on this planet. different stages of evolution. And so civilizations, different beings could be at different levels of development. So the purpose is to keep on developing until you reach, I guess, this ultimate level of development, until you become, I guess, omnipotent or maybe energy. I have no idea. How do you keep on evolving? And is there a limit to evolution? I don't know that. Nick says, signed up for TradeStation, pretty complex, a tad more than BitMEX. That's true. That is true. So if you ever need any help, let me know. Dr. Zayas, will you ever get back into sending trade alerts directly from TradeStation? Probably not. With all the things that happened with my business and everything, I had to cut ties with TradeStation. So yeah, like I said, this whole person destroying my business was pretty bad. And but I'm not complaining. I'm just going forward and trying to develop new services, new business, new relationships, and try to guard myself against such things happening again. Signed up for TradeStation. Okay. Ben Presenton. That's an interesting name. Is there any stock you recommend on TradeStation? Well, it wouldn't matter whether it's on TradeStation or not. If I were going to recommend a stock, no, I don't have any specific stock. What I would do is I would invest in a number of different stocks. I would probably concentrate on those that were dividend producing stocks, that were strong. I mean, right now we're in a situation where we're not overvalued. We're continuing to expand, and I believe we're going to be in an expansion mode for a long time. So there's a number of different stocks. I would get stocks across, all the best high quality stocks, as well as throw in some things that are long shots. I think that's a good strategy. Alex, this guy just stated that half the country, non-conservatives, were happy to see 9/11. I didn't say half the country. Didn't say that at all. I said some liberals and other people of different persuasions did show glee that 9/11 occurred, and that the Al-Qaeda was behind it. There were lots of people, yes, that were left-leaning that did show that. I did not say half the country. That's one of the problems in today's political discourse, that some people, either you're all or nothing. If you're not part of my group, then you're the enemy. If you don't think my way, then you think the evil way. It's not like that. And by the way, my name isn't this guy. Spook, not a fan of Ayn Rand. I'm sure her books are good, but she was a hoe. What does that have to do with anything? She was a little loose with herself, but as long as she created great literature, who cares? Some of your statements are truly outrageous. It's pronounced Ayn Rand. No, it's not. It's Ayn Rand. Religion is innocent people corrupt it. I understand what you're saying. Luke says, that hat, wow. I also love Ayn Rand's Anthem. Super read, easy read in one day. I do think I did read that one time. Trojan Hell says, aliens exist. We can't see them because they live in the fourth dimension. Well, why can't we live in the fourth dimension? The Watcher. They are here among us. They live. Yes, I was a big fan of X-Files too. Steve Brule says, will silver go to $10 an ounce? I thought that silver and gold and particularly platinum right now. Platinum is just getting hammered. It's in the 700s now. I can't believe it. Gold took a big dip today, but then it completely rebounded. Now, will silver get to $10? It's a good question. It's a very good question. I don't know. I'm not one into predictions. What I do believe, though, is I do believe that overall we're going through a economic expansion that's going to last for quite some time. And I think that silver may drop a bit, but I think it will also increase in value over time. Truth Clown. The closest I've been to understanding God is when I watch Monty Python's Meaning of Life while stoned years ago. I love that. That's a great movie. Also, The Holy Grail is another great movie. And of course, I've watched all of the episodes of Monty Python's Holy Grail. Ian Sweeney, I think that's how you say it. Ernie, can you take a look at the Ethereum price? Well, I know that it's under $200. It got down to what, 185, it got up to about 192. Now it's dropped down back into the 180s again. Perhaps you want me to look at the price action. Really not that interested. I think that overall, the altcoins, including Ethereum, are going to continue to go down. Did you know that as of this moment, that the amount of fraud that's occurred in Bitcoin and altcoins in the market is already more than 3 times greater in the year 2018 than it was in the year 2017? Even when you consider all those scam coins and lending coins and BitConnect and BitPetite and Chain Group and blah, 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 all that stuff. Today, to date, there have been more people that have been defrauded, more money, more than 3 times the total of 2017. So all of these lending coins and even the ICOs today, even though they now are following the law by requiring KYC or accredited investors, all they're doing now is they're scamming the accredited investors. It's unbelievable. Is it a good idea to buy stock just before before dividend, then sell it on dividend? It doesn't make any difference. I don't see how it makes any difference. If I were buying a stock, I wouldn't let dividends rule my. I mean, you might have strategies around that. Now, if you have a strategy, then that's a different story. But I wouldn't buy a stock. I mean, you should be aware of what the effect of the dividend may be on the stock. And in fact, there may be a reason why you might want to wait for dividends before you buy the stock. If you believe that it was going to bring the stock price down. So it's really, that's a kind of too much of an open question. The Watcher. It's a film. They live back in the 90s. Oh, they live. They are among us. They live. I think I may have seen that film. I watch so many films, I forget. Litecoin going to zero. I do not disagree with that. Ernie, I'm seeing another bear flag in Bitcoin daily. So maybe in a shorter time frame. In the daily time frame, we've had a huge bear flag that is now coming down. But I think you're right. I think that, well, I look at it as more as a sharp drop, some consolidation, and then it will continue to drop, in my view. Nick Painter. In the beginning of 2017, ETH was like $10. It was not that long ago. Yeah, and Bitcoin was around 1,000. And you're right, it wasn't that long ago. I think that's one of the reasons why most people have lost perspective. They only see where the most recent high was, and then judge everything based on that, instead of just looking a little bit before that and then judging from there. And so, and of course, it's just a human tendency. I mean, people want to believe that their thing that they own is going to be worth more. Otherwise, why would they have invested in it? They can't come to grips with the fact that they just may be wrong or stupid. Are you out of the gold algo call? No, not at all. I am not. It took a dip and then it came back, and now it's profitable. Nick says ETH isn't much different fundamentally from the beginning of 2017. I don't know what fundamentals are in altcoins or cryptocurrency. What are the fundamentals? I mean, I've made up fundamentals for Bitcoin, and I would imagine for Ethereum they're very different, because Ethereum is a platform that many other coins are based on. So I don't know what the fundamentals are. I've never really given it a huge amount of thought to be able to kind of calculate some kind of pointer one way or the other. Stu, do you think the market is expecting a run-up from October through December like last year? I think that there are a lot of people that are expecting that. I think they're delusional. I mean, there's no reason to expect it. Last year, we expected it. We expected it based on ill-gotten or ill-conceived analysis that institutions were going to start piling in, when the Bitcoin futures hit the market, and everyone thought that, that there was going to be this explosion. And of course, that all kind of snowballed into this hysteria. So that's very different from this year. This year, we're not in that hysteria. We're in the exact opposite of hysteria. Aries, please show us shortage graph. Truth Clown, God, I need sleep. I'm not sure, Aries, what a shortage graph is. Maybe you can help me out there. You're welcome, Stu. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was Bitcoin payment systems or crypto payment systems. And I am not down on Bitcoin payment systems. What I mean by this is accepting cryptocurrencies for payment for different things. The only thing that the merchant really has to take into consideration is that, once you get that payment, if you want to, unless you're a believer, but if you want to maintain its value, the best thing to do is to immediately convert it to your local fiat. And I know a lot of people would say, oh my God, the fiat! Why would you ever convert it to fiat? Fiat ain't worth shit. Even though crypto has been falling like a knife. But that's like an extra step that you have to do. But what it does is it opens you up to new markets and a level of convenience for some people that want to pay in crypto or trying to get rid of their crypto. So I think that payment systems are important. It's the integration part that has really lagged. And of course, all my online stuff is done with websites and using WordPress as an underlying content management system, and then using WooCommerce as the shopping cart that's a plugin to WordPress. And then there are payment gateways and plugins that will work with WooCommerce, the payment system, and add another payment gateway. So WooCommerce gives you the shopping cart and the ability to display things for sale and that sort of thing, keep track of inventory, etc. And then that fits inside of the website, WordPress website. And then the gateway, like from Coin Payments, is one. Also, Coinbase offers one, and there are several others. And they just plug it right into as a plugin for WordPress, and then they interact with WooCommerce and allow you to offer that as a payment option. So when you go to check out things, you can either pay by crypto or you can pay by credit card. I even have options for paying through bank payment. But it's an interesting world. The real problem is settlement, because crypto payments work very different from credit cards. There are extra steps involved, so to speak. And then there's this settlement delay. Also, a lot of the tools that are out there just aren't up to snuff. I mean, you would think with all the money that's out there that has been circulating around with crypto that someone would come up with a really great, high-quality crypto payment gateway. And I think probably the best ones that are out there aren't offered to the general public. They're people that just create them. All right, Mr. Riyadh, what a bloody day. Yeah, I guess, it is. I mean, Bitcoin's down a bit. I was in this gold trade and it went down hard, but it came right back up and now it's profitable. So, it's been an interesting day. The Watcher, Bitcoin below 3,000 after the midterms. So why do you think that the midterms might have an effect on Bitcoin? There's a question. Also, are there any states that are employing blockchain in their voting mechanism? States, counties, townships, or whatever. That'd be another interesting thing. Now, I'm not sure if that would fly with either the Democrat or Republican Party, and whether or not they would allow that. I have no idea. Plus, George Soros kind of has a monopoly on a lot of the voting systems, so we can expect plenty of voter fraud in the midterms. Aries, I mean short, long for Bitcoin graph. So now we have to go all the way up to find Aries. Oh, that's way up there. I can't find So just as a note, when I'm reading these comments, there's a lot of comments, and scrolling up and down and trying to find and make connections with the previous one. I don't remember what you said before. Sometimes I do, because there are a few brain cells left. Not many, but there are some. Oh, by the way, if you haven't done so already, click the like button. Click that like button. I don't like to say smash the like button. It sounds so cliche. Ben Presenton. It seems to me that since BitMEX launched, people have found a way to short overvalued altcoins using XBT contract as an instrument. It pumps the value out of those altcoins and sends it back to Bitcoin. Yeah. It seems to you. I haven't really delved into it that much to even notice anything like that. Of course, I'm not. I have a BitMEX account, but I don't really use it. Nufo Taif. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. How about AI signals? Are they automated system or prediction models? Both. It is a prediction model generated by an AI system. And actually, there is a setup today for natural gas. and but it hasn't hit it yet. And so I haven't, and I was planning on actually talking about it. So let me just show it to you so that you know. So here's the natural gas setup. We're looking at $2.77.8 as the entry point, but you see here's the candle. It hasn't reached down there yet. It's gotten down to $2.78.60, but it hasn't gotten down to here. And so I'm not sure if that's going to set up. It needs to come down to this line here so that we can go long, so that we can do this. Needs to come to here. That's the wrong color. Yeah, so it needs to come to here like this. And we're not there yet. But check out gold, man. It dipped way down here. This is where I got in. And now we're positive. I had one of my clients today ask me, man, should we be getting out of gold? And I said, no, we have to give it 4 days to perform. Right? And so we're still, another day and a half to go. And look, it came right back. It's a good thing you didn't get out, right? And of course, there's the Aussie dollar, where this was the original trade here. Go long here. But it just took off and went down. Now, I actually got in down here. But that's my own trade. It's not the automated trade. It's not the AI. So I looked at all this volume and I said, man, this looks really strong. It looks like we're going to do a reversal here, at least based on this volumetric analysis here. Volumetric principle number 2 says that if you come down hard and then under high volume, you have really no more advancement in price, then there's a high degree of probability that you will reverse direction. That's actually one of the volumetric principles that I teach in the course. And so here we have incredible volume with no real advancement in price after coming down hard. So I expect that there's going to be some kind of reversal here. And so I'm looking for that. Okay. So the watcher asks, not so much effect, just an excuse to smash it, probably like they will to gold and silver. So I have to put this together with previous comments because we have, there's probably 20 people that are commenting here. And so I'm sure each one of you expect me to remember your specific comment and then go and connect it back to what you commented on before, and then have a smooth transition and be able to just, answer it like I know what the hell's going on. What was that? That was a little doggy. Oh, by the way, Neo is doing fantastic. The vet, we've been trying to get in touch with the vet, and the vet is going to call us back this afternoon. And I don't know if that she's too happy, or is it a he? I think it's a she. I don't know that she's too happy of our choice, to help him. We're using cannabis oil or Rick Simpson oil and CBD, and it has made an unbelievable change in his stature, his energy, his overall life force has been resurrected by giving him cannabis oil. He's gained back about 7 or 8 pounds. He's no longer emaciated. He looks healthy. And they wanted to suggest that we put him on chemo. And they said that that would extend his life for maybe another 6 months, maybe 2 to 6 months. Before we started this program of Rick Simpson oil, cannabis oil, and it was right before we went on vacation. And of course, we bring our dogs on vacation. The wife and I didn't think that he would make it through the vacation. That's how bad he was. But now he's like a new dog. He's just a puppy, and he's like a puppy. And so now we have to, so I'm just waiting to hear what the vet has to say. It's going to be very interesting. By the way, if you want to help me out with his recovery, these doing the Rick Simpson oil, the cannabis oil, is very expensive. It's well over $1,000 a month, and it's going to require us to do this program for several months and then put him on a maintenance program, perhaps for the rest of his life. And so, any donation that you can help us out with, that would certainly, I really appreciate it. All right. Guys peddling Russian meddling conspiracy aren't advocating for paper ballots. Guys peddling Russian meddling conspiracy aren't advocating for paper ballots, by Spook. Russian meddling. Where do you think the Russian meddling is happening? In the voting system? Do you really think that they're actually doing that? I don't think so. Will you sell these systems? Are they neural network, random forest? Yeah, I plan on, if I can get enough interest. We're using them for our own stuff. So, whether we sell them or not, that's one thing. But I'm trying to get enough interest out there so that people might want to join the service. And so far we're well above 90% in terms of the percent winners, and all the winners are have great return on capital. My biggest problem is that I just don't have the reach anymore, like I did prior to my YouTube account being deleted. I could put out a service like this and then attract 200 people. Now I'm lucky if I can get 20. And so I got to figure out, a way to be able to do this service and make money off of it. Otherwise, why spend the time? New SEC guy, false hope, from Crypto Shill. They're going to deny an ETF. Of course they are. Of course they're going to deny all ETFs. There is no reason for them to go for an ETF. From what I just mentioned earlier, that this year is the year of incredible fraud, 3 times greater than last year. What makes anybody think that they feel comfortable about supporting an ETF, that they'll be able to protect the consumers and create stable markets? It's not going to happen. So Stu says great news. I'm assuming you're saying great news based on Neo's condition. The Watcher. Hope he pulls through, Big Earn. Yep. So yeah, I think, and I really appreciate everybody's positive sentiment there. He's a wonderful dog. He is the sweetest dog that we've ever owned, sweetest Ridgeback. We've only owned Ridgebacks. And his brother, and it's literally his half-brother, Obi, it has a huge personality, and he loves his brother. He's his older brother, and Neo loves him, and they love each other. And it was really sad. Anyways, he's doing great, and so I hope that this all continues, and I hope that he makes a full recovery. And I'll do lots of videos on that. You bet your ass that I will be talking about how we saved our dog with cannabis oil. Of course, we're not there yet, so I don't want to be ahead of the game. Oil saved my dad from cancer. That's awesome, Crypto Street. You are doing the right thing for Neo. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing a lot of research on this for quite some time, and it's amazing. What's even more amazing is how the government is denying us this. That is the amazing thing. Spook. A lot of resistance guys believe Russia hacked electronic voting ballots is what I'm saying. I don't think that the Russians are hacked. I think that it's more likely that operatives in parties here in the States are hacking those ballots, the systems. I think that's far more likely, and actually there was proof of that last year. Last minute videos, that's his handle. If I buy 10 ducks, then in how many days will their eggs they produce will cover the cost of the ducks? I have no idea. I guess it depends on whether or not you buy male ducks or female ducks. And, you know, quite frankly, I don't think there's a big market for duck eggs. James Luckhurst asks, or states, crypto network tokens are more expensive when compared to cloud Amazon services. Businesses won't use them. I agree. I agree 100%. I absolutely agree. As a matter of fact, I've talked to executives in various businesses and asked them, well, have they really thought through the cost of implementing a blockchain or a distributed ledger solution? And most of them have no idea of what it will really cost. What I should say is that their idea is that they think it's just the return on investment isn't there. They don't know what the ultimate cost will be, but it looks to them like it would be just too expensive to do right now. And they don't see the real benefit. Where's the real edge that they get? So yeah, I would agree. However, a decentralized network would be a big problem solver in terms of true scalability. It could scale beyond even a cloud-based solution. But right now, that's not like a driving force right now. It might be in the future. Last minute video says, we already looked at that one. Yes, Neo. But last minute video says, I'm looking at the parallels of different industries. All right, so now here is another example of me having then to connect that statement with previous statements after I've already gone through 7 or 8 other people's statements. So we have to go last minute. Okay, if I buy... somehow that has something to do with ducks. I don't get it. Crypto Street. Government actually has a patent on CBD. Yes, I know. And I know that they've actually they've determined, or at least made some preliminary discovery that, and they know that also THC has cancer-killing properties. The oil itself can actually tell the cancer cell to kill itself. And it doesn't work on just specific cancers. It works on almost all cancers. It also has a great efficacy in neurological problems like epilepsy and Parkinson's and perhaps even Alzheimer's and many other types of neurological conditions. Yak, 1/3, if I remember it right. You said that Bitcoin has to come down much further to be attractive for institutions, like 1K or so. But if just one or few institutions jump in, don't they have so much money? it's not going to be one or two institutions that are going to jump in. It's going to be all or nothing. No, they're not going to do it in a vacuum. And if they do jump in, it's going to be some sort of private blockchain or something else that they wanted to get invested in. The conditions have to be right for all the institutions to say, yeah, this is where we're going. Daniel Barali, $64 million question. If you have that amazing winning ratio on your trading, if you have all those amazing trade strategies, then why bother with GoFundMe? Why run courses for 300? Well, they're not 300, first of all, they're 500. So you don't know the whole story. Prior to May, I had a thriving business, bringing in $20,000 to $35,000 a month on training and coaching and passive income and so forth. All of that was completely wiped out by some nefarious people. And I went through a long and arduous process to negotiate with AT&T, who allowed this to happen, and got a settlement with them. Actually, I'm not supposed to really talk about that because that's part of the settlement. But the settlement was totally inadequate. All my subscribers were gone. That was the churn of people that I would bring through the sales process, and they're all gone. So I also, the hedge fund I was running had to get shut down as well. So I went from a pretty good revenue stream to making virtually nothing. So the payments of the treatment for my dog, the GoFundMe, my daughter actually put that up. It's extremely expensive to do this, and where I'm trying to build my business back up and just trying to make a buck, and it took me 7 years to build it up to that point. Now I'm starting all over again. So hopefully that answers your question, Daniel. 2/3 of that price jumps back to 10K in 0 time? Question mark. I'm not sure I understand. Why not make millions from the beach in Aruba? Yeah. There are lots of people that ask questions like that, and you have a fundamental misunderstanding of what it means to be in business. That's all I get to say. Take care, Crypto Street. Rogia Ingrid. Rogia. I always wondered, suppose you developed a coin with a valid use case. There are quite some already, I guess, but without fraud. How would you in general make money on such a project? Well, that's a good question. It depends, I guess, on what the coin would be used for and whether or not it solves a problem in an industry and makes it more efficient or opens up perhaps a new market. Now, so it's kind of hard to suspect, what that could be. I had an idea for something called Junto Coin, and that was a way to invest in the crypto market. Sorry about that. That was a way to invest in the crypto market without it being a security, by allowing the people who invest in the coin to actually direct the investment itself. And I ran into regulatory issues with that, and so that's still an idea open, but that doesn't really answer your question. But it's an idea for a coin for investment purposes, for self-directed investing. Daniel says, the saying, if you know, you do, if you don't, you teach. Daniel, you don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. Nick Painter, let's hook up if we can, Ernie. I'd like to sign up for the class and have you coach me. That sounds great, Nick. You can go to my Trader of Futures website, and then there's the About Me link. And there you'll find all my contact information, including a direct line to me. And so, yeah, please give me a call and we'll talk. So, by the way, I have a course this weekend on Saturday. There's a couple people that have signed up already. Everybody that signs up for the course gets a free coaching session from me. It's included with the course. And you can use that coaching session however you would like. Typically, the way most people are using it is as an adjunct to the course itself, maybe to build up a strategy. Some people are using it for something completely different. Some people use it because they just want to talk to me. In any event, it's there. You take the course, you get the coaching session. The coaching session, I normally charge $300 for a session. The course itself is $500, so it's pretty good value. Some people have found that it's such a good value that they end up taking my full coaching program. Yeah, the limit of words in chat is small, so I split it one question onto three. 1/3 and 2/3 belong to the first. Okay, that's okay. I'm trying my best to try to piece it all together. Roger says, yes, but you create a solution that thrives on the idea of decentralized nonprofit transactions. So how would that benefit the developers, besides being proud you provide a solution? Yeah, I wasn't saying that my Junto coin provides this big business model that I would make a lot of money from. As a matter of fact, I probably wouldn't make too much money from it. But it provides a solution for people that may not have the knowledge of crypto investments, and so by using kind of group think, right, trading by the masses, the mass intelligence would decide how to direct this kind of club fund, the Junto Coin Club Fund. But that was that idea. There are others that have various use cases that they say that blockchain and distributed ledger solutions solve. And I can see how they might potentially solve problems, but right now I don't see that, because I don't see how companies can actually afford or invest in an infrastructure and disrupt their company with a change in their business model and all the new resources that they would have to bring on. At this moment, I don't see how distributed ledger actually is a viable solution. Now, it has a great promise and a lot of benefits, so maybe sometime in the future. Stav Ben Nun, good thing I haven't got out of gold. Yes, that's right. That's right. We talked about that earlier. All right. Oh my God, we're over an hour again. Holy crap. I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Thank you so much. And it was great talking to you. Please share this video. If there's one thing that you could do that would help this stream out, and that's share this video, I would really appreciate that. And then hit that like button. Those are the two things that will help expand the audience here. Really appreciate everybody here, and we'll see you tomorrow or next video. Take care, guys. Well, good thing I haven't. Let's see, one more. James Lacurse, just a tip. Read only the Christian name out. Sounds better, easier, too. Great job, anyways. And Roger, thanks, Ernie. You're welcome. All right, everybody, thank you. Take care. Have a great night or evening. See you later.